Hello Pokemon trainers and welcome back to the channel. I am Ninja Chortle and we're going to talk about today's latest custom built action figure by myself. It is Clair from Pokemon Gold and Silver. That's Gen 2. That's the Johto region. She's also in Pokemon HeartGold, SoulSilver, the remakes of Gen 2. She is the Dragon type gym leader of the Johto region. She's the greatest the greatest dragon type. Actually, no, she's like the worst. She's like literally the worst dragon type master. Like her cousin Lance is the actual champion of the region that she's in, and he's a dragon type user. And then there's Iris, who's also a champion of the region that she's in, and she's a dragon type user. So of all the other dragon types, she's like one of the worst ones. And then she like uses Dragonair instead of dragon. Like, okay, but anyway, so I love Claire for many reasons. And I decided to make myself an action figure. So I'm going to talk about how I did that. Like how the parts came to be and all that, and talk about some of the details. Just in case you're curious on this build and you want to know how to make it and how this came to be and stuff. Stay tuned. If you're just like checking this out, thanks for checking this out. But let's go ahead and talk about her accessories, and then I'll go ahead and talk about the actual build of the figure. Alright, so for Claire, she comes with two sets of hands for accessories. We've got the fists, and the open hands are painted light blue, and that's it. That is all the accessories. Of course, I'm just kidding. The thing that anyone would care about is this sick ass Gyarados. That's really freaking cool. I really love this thing. It just came in the mail like literally 2 days ago. I ordered it off of Amazon. It was about $25, I think, give or take. So it is a part of, if you've been watching any of my Pokemon customs, I need to fix this because it's bent. If you've been watching any of my custom videos on Pokemon trainers and all the Pokemon accessories, most of the Pokemon that I use as accessories are battle figures, Pokemon battle figures. You can get them again at Target or Walmart or Walgreens or GameStop. They're on Amazon, eBay. They are made to be like battle size, but just like I don't know if this is meant to be a 6-inch scale or not, but it's pretty hefty. It is absolutely the biggest Pokemon that I currently own by far, and yeah, it's pretty nice. It comes with this clear stand here, so it's going to look like it's floating. It is somewhat articulate. It's not the best. You can move like, yeah, that's like real snappy and crinkly and all that stuff. So it does move a little bit, but you know, for the most part, it's just going to be chilling like that. So I didn't touch anything. Like I said, I want to heat this up to soften it, and then hopefully it'll straighten out. But that's the only issue. I was going to buy a model kit for Gyarados. It was supposed to come out this month, or at least on Big Bad Toy Store. It said January. And I waited all month, and it never came, so I canceled it because the model kit would have been a little bit cheaper. But this is actually nice because the model kit comes with a stand, but it's not clear like this one is. So I really like that a lot about this one, that has this clear stand. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about Claire. Okay, as far as Claire goes and her build, it's a lot of new things, a lot of older techniques that I've used and made a little bit better. You know, some perfections still need to be made here and there, but for what it's worth, here we are. We've got Claire. I think her arm is backwards here. Let me fix that. What happened there? Arm got twisted around. Here we go. That's better. All right, live. But anyway, so Claire, start at the bottom. Her shoes are very tiny, unfortunately, but it is one of the better matches for what Claire's actual feet wear are in the games and stuff. They are just like little short heels. These are from the 2-pack Storm. Again, these are, if you don't know, these are based off of Marvel Legends. So all of these parts are from Marvel Legends figures made by Hasbro. So I just take Marvel Legends figures and convert them into whatever it is I desire. So these heels are from Storm, the 2-pack Storm with, I think it's a Target exclusive with Thunderbird. If it's not a 2-pack, if it's not a Target exclusive, oh well. But it's these are the heels from that figure. These are resin copies, so they are a little small, but that is how Hasbro made them. Unfortunately, I wish they were a little bit bigger. Oh well. The actual legs, though, first time use. First time I'm actually doing it, but I'm using the pinless legs off of this figure in particular. This is a Shriek, so these are double jointed pinless legs. Finally, the ladies are getting the love that they deserve. These are somewhat big and muscular, and you can definitely can't tell that from these because they're black, but you can see that a lot more on now that they've been painted flesh tone. So you can actually see a lot of the detail. I don't ever expect Hasbro to paint have flesh tone legs in this style, because they just don't do that in general. So this is a good way to see what those type of legs will look like painted flesh tone. So they are very, very muscular. They're very nice and long. And I picked these legs in particular for a reason, not because I wanted super thick Clair, though that is not a bad thing at all, but because of Claire's, like these rings around her feet, her legs, excuse me. If I were to use regular legs with pins in them, that is exactly where the pins right here. Can we focus? We're not going to focus. Let's move her out the way then. Yeah, so where the pins would be, that's where those black rings are going, and they would get in the way. So the problem would be, how do I put the pins back in, like to finish the figure, if those rings are in the way? That was one reason why I delayed Claire for some time, because I wanted to figure out what was the best way to get that done. And then the pinless legs came out, and then the epiphany of, hey, I don't have to take those legs apart at all, and I don't have to worry about pushing pins in there and doing all of that stuff. So voila. But you still have to work with these legs. So how do I do that is something I've been learning over the last year, is how to work with these pinless parts. So you do have to heat this up a little bit. I use a hair dryer, and these are really tough ones. There we go. Okay, so in here I usually take a X-Acto knife after it's heated up and nice and soft, and I'll cut in that slit there, because there's a pin that goes through there, just like these any regular legs. There's a pin that goes through there, but because it's pinless, there's just no way to access it from the outside. So you have to cut through there, and then it's just like a regular knee. It just doesn't have the pins. It's just a bar that hangs in there. And I've been doing that with necks, swapping out neck pins for the last couple of years, so I have practice on doing that. And then I just Dremel down the knee itself, and once it's smaller, I sand it and put it back onto the figure and glue it back in, after heating it back up. And yeah, it's still pinless. So this is the first time I've done that with the legs, and I still have some lessons to learn. I still have some things to fix. So one of the things with the pinless is that it's, once you're in there, it's back in there. So I did Dremel this down, but I didn't Dremel it down enough. So I just need to make it even smaller, because after it's back in there and I'm actually bending her legs, it's still rubbing up against the leg. So all of that paint came off. Now this isn't a big deal on this figure because, yeah, cape. So this was actually a great figure to experiment on, because at the end of the day, the cape is going to hide all that nastiness of that paint rub coming off. So yeah, it works out great for me. even though it's a mistake at the end of the day. Because of the cape is just going to hide all that, and I don't have to worry about the front of her legs, and the side of her legs look excellent. So moving on, that still fits on a Kate Bishop buck, so just your standard Kate Bishop here. I think in particular that this was a Dazzler. Yeah, it was a retro carded Dazzler, and then the upper torso is also a retro carded Dazzler, so they're just the whole upper torso there. I probably should center that on Thori. So yeah, the upper torso and lower torso are both retro carded Dazzler, and arms are just standard arms on any regular old Kate Bishop, just like same arms as these, same hands as well as these. It's all the same, but I use the Dazzler buck for this one because of the cape, which has a little port on the back. We can barely see. Let's see if I can flip that up. There you go. So yeah, that hole in the back on the Kate Bishop torsos is good for this cape. And by the way, the cape is a Polaris cape. It's just a regular Polaris cape. I did cut off a little bit right here to make it a little smaller, and then I used regular resin that I've made, and made these little horn things to glue onto here. But yeah, the port on the back of the Kate Bishop buck is good for the cape, so that way the cape is going to stay on her body. I don't have to worry about it falling off or falling out or whatever. So it's just a good hole to have on her back. Despite that, I did Dremel in between here, so you do see some enhancements on her chest. She does have a larger bust than normal. I did use a plastic from like a Dunkin' Donuts cup, just like a sipping drinking cup, to create this panel in front. It doesn't look amazing, but honestly, from further away, it doesn't look nearly as bad. I think just up close, it looks like a little weird and out of place. Admittedly, I understand. The pearl here is just epoxy sculpted into a ball, sanded and glued onto there. This little black strap right here going down her chest is also from the same cup of coffee, the same Dunkin' Donuts cup, just glued there. So there is like actually separation. It's not the easiest to see, but yeah, it's there. You can see that. So there's a little separation. It is not painted on her chest. It is not flat on her chest. It's actually rising on above her chest a little bit. So yeah, there's also a choker going around her neck that's sculpted on her head. Her actual face is also Dazzler, coincidentally, but it is the old Dazzler, the first appearance Dazzler face. So that's what face this is. That face is a little weird. I think I have an extra one, or did I throw it away? I don't have it right here, but the face needs to be shaped a little bit. So it is first shaped, and then all of this hair from all of this on the outside, these weird, her weird hair, basically all the way up to the back, is all sculpted by myself. Epoxy sculpt. It's hard sculpted. It is not soft. It is not flexible. So it can break if she were to fall the wrong way. So that absolutely can break. And then also her hairband has been sculpted on with hard sculpt, epoxy sculpt. And then her ponytail is not that. Her ponytail comes from Jean Grey. So it is actually, this one right here is the love triangle 3-pack head. But I use the ponytail from the VHS Jean Grey. So that super ugly orange color that nobody wanted. I destroyed that thing immediately, and yeah, here it goes. It's using it on Clair. The ponytail itself is supposed to be on Clair, like up here, like up high, a little higher, but because of the way I wanted to use this really long and nice ponytail, just had to make it work the way that will work with what you got, basically. But yeah, that is it. That is Claire in a nutshell. Best that I can make her. I don't know if they're like ever going to give her any alts for Pokemon Masters, because I mean she really doesn't do anything outside of the Johto region. I know in the anime she first appeared. In the anime, she had a different outfit. It was like all one color. And then later on, she came back in the anime and she actually was wearing this. I don't really like that first outfit, so I don't plan on making it. But I have never seen her wear anything else other than this and that. And so hopefully, I mean, I would love for her to get an alt in Pokemon Masters, and I would consider remaking another Claire. But for right now, this is it. So we'll see. Let's do our comparison and then we'll get out of here. All right, so we have the only Pokemon trainers that I have representing the Gen 2 slash Gen 2 remake games, the HeartGold, SoulSilver, or Gold Silver Crystal. Sabrina, that I made recently with the Espeon, Johto, and then Claire and Gyarados. So, two things. One, I did not give Claire a Pokeball. Did that on purpose. Didn't want her to have a Pokeball. I already gave her Open Hand and Fist, so that way I can give her doing the fist shake sort of thing, which I'm not going to do in this video. But she has her fist, so she can be upset and shake her fist. And secondly, I forgot to reason why I gave her Gyarados. So, one, Gyarados, not a dragon type trainer. Totally acknowledged. But she did use a Gyarados in Pokemon games. So both the Gen 2 games, all of the, each Gen 4, Gen 2, she does use her Kingdra is like her ace, and then Dragonair is like her other Pokemon, and then she's actually one of the reasons why I like Dragonair more than Dragonite. But she also uses Gyarados. They do not have Kingdra figures or Dragonair figures on the Pokemon battle figures line, or any line. Honestly, I would take a model kit. I would find like anything. They're like the only Kingdra that I ever saw is like they're like super old. They're like 20 years old and they're like really tiny and really ugly. So that's the only Kingdra I ever saw on eBay. And yeah, I would love for her to have a Kingdra or a Dragonair. So the next option was either a Dragonite or Gyarados. Both of those are available. I did not want to give her a Dragonite because I would rather give another Pokemon Dragon type trainer that Dragonite. And no, it's not Lance. I would rather give that to Iris, because even with Iris, she does use Hydreigon and Haxorus. I've never seen a Hydreigon as a figure. I might have seen an Haxorus, but it's like really small. It's like that Alakazam I had for the other Sabrina. So I would rather give Iris the Dragonite and just compromising giving Claire the Gyarados. So that is, I'm sorry, I should have said that earlier, but that is why she has a Gyarados. It's an honorary dragon, even though it's a water flying type. It's whatever. But yes, this is how that works. Early Pokemon games. Anyway, like I said, I don't necessarily have any plans to do any more Claire figures in the future. I would love to, though, so hopefully Pokemon Masters gives us something for her. Until then, that's it for Pokemon figures for the near future. I'm going to be taking a break soon. I still have a few more figures to pump out, but they won't be Pokemon related. So, but trust you me, I've already delayed several Pokemon characters because of other reasons. I want to make them perfect, waiting on parts and pieces, waiting on materials, etc., etc. So they're coming. I'm still going to be making more Pokemon ladies, trust you me. So I will see you in the future for more Pokemon custom made action figures with Pokemon as accessories and more action figures in general, just from other fandoms that I have. I have a new video that I'm about to film right now, so you'll be seeing that up in a few days after this one. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to check that out. It's a pretty good figure, I must say, and I got more figures on the way before I take this break. So make sure you stay locked. Leave a like on this video if you liked it. Also give me a comment. I always appreciate positivity. She wasn't perfect, but I'm always learning something on every build that I do, and I try to do something new. And by the way, she's posed that way because that's how I have her on my shelf, and I don't feel like changing it. Anyway, see you next time. Peace.